Ever feel like some movies just absolutely nail it?
Yeah.
Like that perfect blend of action,
Right.
humor, characters you just instantly love.
Yeah.
Well,
For sure.
get ready to crack open the secret sauce of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, yeah.
We are going full deep dive into this iconic screenplay.
Yeah. Iconic. We're talking like the blueprint for adventure movies here. We're digging into like film analysis and trivia, even Roger Ebert's original review, trying to figure out why this story still resonates decades later.
Okay, so first up, this isn't just going to be us geeking out over like every time Indy dodges a boulder.
Right.
One analysis pointed out that as awesome as the action is, it's always like in service to the story.
Absolutely. And great example is that Cairo scene.
Okay.
Where Indy just shoots the swordsman?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out Harrison Ford was like really struggling with dysentery. During filming, they had to improvise.
No way. See, I always thought that was just like classic Indy, just being efficient.
Right. But it's become this legendary moment, and it shows how the screenplay uses action to kind of turn what you expect on its head and reveal character. Unexpected, efficient, hilarious, pure Indiana Jones.
It's true. It makes those drawn-out fight scenes in other films feel so predictable.
Right.
So speaking of subverting expectations,
yes,
we got to talk about Marion Ravenwood.
Oh, absolutely.
She is not your typical damsel in distress.
No, not at all. One of the things Spielberg really insisted on was having a strong female lead.
Yeah.
And Marion's character is proof of that.
She's got that firecracker energy. Remember when she punches Indy in the face?
Oh, yeah.
You don't see that in a lot of films from that era.
Exactly. She's feisty, she's capable, and she challenges Indy every step of the way. And their dialogue is another example of the screenplay's strength. Sharp, witty, and you learn about their past relationship without a single boring exposition scene.
Yeah.
It's great.
It belongs in a museum. I mean, it just rolls right off the tongue as expected.
Yeah, right. And that's the beauty of the dialogue in Raiders. Instantly quotable.
Yeah.
But it's also really effective at showing character and moving the plot along.
And it's like snappy, too. It's not like
it doesn't sit there.
It gets in and gets out.
Exactly.
Like that line from Marion. How about drink? A drink.
Oh, yeah.
It just like...
It says so much.
It speaks volumes about their past relationship, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's subtle, suggestive, and it sets up their dynamic for the whole movie.
Yeah.
The writing is economical and evocative. One of the analyses called it a master class in screenwriting.
So we got memorable, action, crackling dialogue. But what about Indy himself? Why is he so relatable? One analysis I was reading suggested it's because of his flaws.
Oh, that's a great point. He's got that dry wit, that cynicism. He's not afraid to bend the rules a bit to get what he needs, like we see in the Peruvian temple.
Right.
He's not a perfect hero.
Yeah.
And that makes him so much more interesting and believable than, like, your typical action hero.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, he feels like a real person.
He does.
Which is unusual for this type of movie.
He's got that roguish charm.
Yeah.
He's not always going by the book,
Yeah.
but you can't help but root for him.
Right.
Now, we were talking about Spielberg's influence earlier.
Yeah.
One thing that always struck me is like how he uses visuals to create that signature Raiders atmosphere.
Oh, it's masterful. Like, just think about that first look we get at Indy in the opening.
Right.
That backlighting, the silhouette,
Yes.
the whip crack, pure classic adventure.
Yeah.
And it just sets the tone for the whole film.
Right. You just know you're in for a ride. And it's not even just the action either. Even those quieter moments have this incredible visual richness. Like that moment when Indy first sees the Ark in the map room.
Oh, yeah.
The way the light hits the artifact.
Breathtaking. Spielberg just knows how to use light and shadow and composition to create like this sense of awe and wonder. Visual storytelling at its best.
It's movie magic.
Totally.
Now, you remember how we were talking about Raiders borrowing from film noir?
Yeah.
One analysis I was reading really dug into that idea.
Yeah.
Especially with how Indy is portrayed.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were saying that there's like a world weariness to him.
Yeah.
A cynicism.
Right.
That you see in a lot of film noir protagonists.
Oh, totally.
Like he's seen some stuff, experienced loss. It just adds another layer to his character.
It makes the funny moments even funnier.
Right.
Like when he's up against that swordsman.
Uh-huh.
And just pulls out his gun.
Oh, yeah?
It's unexpected. It's kind of dark.
It's true.
But it's also hilarious. And it just speaks to that film noir thing.
Yeah, totally. It's that blend of action, humor, and just a touch of cynicism. That gives Raiders that unique flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we talk about the action.
Right.
the dialogue, the visual style.
Yeah.
But, like, what about its lasting impact?
Mm-hmm.
Why does this movie still work?
That's a good question.
After all these years, one of the analyses I read suggested that it's because it taps into this, like, primal desire
Okay.
for exploration and discovery.
Yeah.
You know, it takes us to these exotic locations.
Sure.
Throws in fascinating historical artifacts.
That's true.
And it gives us this hero who, even with his flaws, embodies that spirit of adventure.
Totally.
We all kind of want to be Indy, don't we?
He's like the ultimate adventurer, brave, resourceful, and always up for a challenge. Raiders just reminds us of that thrill of discovery, the excitement of the unknown.
Yeah.
You know, it's pure escapism. But it also speaks to something deeper within us, I think.
Yeah. That yearning for adventure.
Yeah.
For something more than just the ordinary. And speaking of more than ordinary,
Yes.
we got to talk about the music.
Oh.
John Williams' score is just...
Iconic.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Raiders March is one of those pieces that just instantly transports you
Oh, yeah.
to that world of adventure.
It's true. You can't imagine the movie without it.
It's epic. It's thrilling. It perfectly captures the spirit of the film.
It elevates every scene.
Yeah.
Just adds layers of emotion and excitement.
It does.
It's a masterclass in film scoring.
Speaking of masterclass,
Yeah.
one of the sources mentioned just how many modes of transportation are used in the film.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Horses, planes, trucks, motorcycles, a submarine, a coal-fired tramp steamer.
I love that.
I mean, they were not messing
Yeah.
around.
It's like a whirlwind tour of like early 20th century travel. Just adds to that sense of scope and adventure.
It does.
Like they really threw everything in there.
It really is a testament to the filmmakers just wanting to create this, like, truly immersive and exciting experience.
Yeah.
Now, let's circle back to Marion for a second.
Sure.
We were talking about her strength and how she's not a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
But, I mean, some analyses did point out that she falls into that trope at times.
It's true. That is a fair point.
What do you make of that?
It's something that's been talked about a lot,
Yeah.
you know? And it's true while Marion starts as this strong and independent woman,
Right.
there are times when she's captured
Yeah.
and needs rescuing.
It's true.
It's definitely a product of its time.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is even when she's in those situations, she's never giving up.
Yeah. That's true.
She's always fighting back, trying to outsmart her captors.
Yeah, she's resourceful, she's resilient, and she ends up playing a crucial role in taking down the villains.
Exactly.
So, yeah. She might not always be in control of the situation, but she never loses sight of who she is.
And that's what makes her interesting.
Yeah.
She's not just waiting around for Indy.
Yeah.
She's an active participant in her own story.
Totally. You know, for all the talk about those classic tropes,
Right.
one of the sources mentioned that the original ending
Yeah.
was going to be way darker. Apparently, they considered killing Marion off.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's true. It was Spielberg's wife at the time, Marcia Lucas, who suggested they go with a happier ending. She had a really good eye for story.
I'm glad she did. That last shot of them walking off together.
Yeah. Perfect. It's that classic adventure never ends kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah. Leaves you wanting more.
Exactly.
And hey, speaking of things that leave you wanting more,
Yeah.
did you know that after Raiders came out, there was a huge surge in people wanting to study archaeology?
Really? No way. That's so cool.
It's true.
Proof that a good story can inspire people
Totally.
in real life. But it's not just about the archaeology, is it?
No.
There's something about Raiders that just makes you want to learn
Right.
about history, about ancient cultures.
Totally. It sparks this sense of wonder and curiosity about the world.
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes the screenplay so great. It's entertaining, but it also gives you these glimpses into history and mythology.
It's like sneaking in a history lesson.
Yes. While you're having a blast.
Yeah.
But speaking of history, one analysis I was reading
Yeah.
brought up an interesting point about Indy. Is he really a hero?
Okay.
Or is he more like a,
Oh,
glorified grave robber?
that is the question, isn't it?
It's true.
People have been debating that for years. On one hand, I.S. saving these artifacts
Right.
from the bad guys, but he is taking them
Yeah,
from where they were.
it's true.
It's complicated.
It's a tough one.
Makes you think about the ethics of archaeology and cultural heritage and all that.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why we're still talking about it.
Exactly. It makes you think.
It's a film that works on all these different levels. You can enjoy it as a straight-up action movie,
Right.
or you can really dig into those deeper themes.
And let's be real, it's just a well-made movie.
Oh, it's fantastic.
The pacing, the shots, the music,
Yeah.
everything just works.
It all comes together to create this unforgettable experience.
So what's the takeaway here for someone listening to us
Yeah.
totally nerding out over Raiders?
It's a good reminder that a great story, told well, can really stay with you, even years later.
It's about adventure,
Yeah.
about courage, about believing in something bigger than yourself.
And sometimes it's about an archaeologist with a whip
Uh-huh.
who
Yeah.
just wants to put things back where they belong.
Perfectly said. So next time you watch Raiders, pay attention to how it's all put together.
Yeah.
The story, the dialogue, the way they use those visuals and that incredible music to create that adventure, you might just find a whole new appreciation for this classic film.
Absolutely. And who knows, it might inspire you to go on an adventure of your own.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.